Afternoon. How is everyone? Excuse the wobbly screen at the moment. I'm just... Come on. There we are. I've just pinned a link to the... Oh, have I done it twice? Oh, I've done it twice. Oh well. I pinned a link to the website anyway, to everything we're using today. How is everyone? How many people have we got on so far? Say hello if you're there. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Well, so far we've got Ian. Any more? Say hello if you're popping on so I can say hello to you. Oh, hi Linda. How are you doing? All right. Hello Beverly. How are you? Hello Ian. Ian's there as well, so if I miss any comments, if anyone asks any questions or anything, then I'm sure Ian will be there to answer them if I miss them. Afternoon Gaynor. How are you? Good afternoon Judith. Nice to see you on here again. Doop-a-doo. Woohoo, day off work, Linda. Hi Helen. Hi Deborah. How are you both? Are you keeping warm? Because it's very cold out today. Very cold. Oh, hi Shauna. Welcome. You'll just have to watch and then you'll see. This might give you a bit of a clue. What time is it? Oh, I've just gone to... hello everyone. If you can share this. Afternoon Mum, how are you? Yeah, so if you can share this on your timeline or in any crafting Facebook groups or with any friends or anything like that on Facebook, that will be fabulous. The more people that support us on this, the more lives we can do and the more it helps us out. We always upload our lives to YouTube afterwards as well. So if you don't get to see it on our Facebook page, you can either watch it on Facebook afterwards, after we've finished. Just go to the live tab on Facebook and all our live videos are there. I think this might be number 49, I think it's 49. Glad you're okay, Mum. Yeah, and then we also upload it to YouTube. So they're all on YouTube to watch as well. So if you prefer that, you can do that. Afternoon, Annie. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you can like and subscribe to our channel, and click the little bell, I think, and then it'll notify you when we've got new videos. So we try and do at least once a week if we can. Certainly at the moment while we're in lockdown. Afternoon, Carolyn. How are you? Right, so let's crack on, shall we? So if anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask. And and either I will answer them or Ian will answer them. So the card I'm doing today is along the lines of this. I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to use slightly different colours, and I think I might do it landscape rather than portrait, this card. But it's using the new Sue Wilson dies. The ones I'm going to be using are these two. There are some other ones. I do have these ones as well, which is the decorative squared rectangles. So it's got these little squares all around them. I'm not going to be using that one today, but that's another one we've got. There are a few others as well. So if you click on the link, it will take you to our website, and they're all available to order on there, either for contactless pickup or for delivery. But the ones I'm going to be using today are the essential frames from the Slimline collection, which are these. And anyone that's been watching my lives lately will know that I'm really into DL cards at the moment, and this is sized perfectly for a DL card. So they're my dream dies. There's also some inspiration on the inside of the packaging, so that's quite good because it gives you a bit of a starting point. They work really well with the new Slimline Stencils that we've got, that we've just had in as well. So I'll be using those, and I will also be using this one, which I think is really nice. I like this one. The large circles background. So basically it's just, all it does is it cuts out a load of circles, doesn't have an outer cutting edge, so you can size it to whatever size you want, but it's really nice. I like it. There we are. So that's on the inside, so there's some inspiration there, and the card I've done is very similar to this one here actually, so that's where I took the inspiration from. But there's some really nice designs. This one is a bit that one would be lovely with the pixie sparkles that I used last week. Was it last week? I think it was last week, wasn't it? So I might have to try using the pixie sparkles with that and doing something similar to that. So if I do, I'll put it on our Valley Crafters page for everyone to see. So the only other thing I've used with this card is I've used the new pearlized card that we've had in stock. So you can use any pearlescent card. Well, you don't even have to use pearlescent card. You could use mirror card. You could use pixie sparkles to make your own colours up or anything like that. But I've used you can sort of see it shimmering as well. It's lovely. The new pearlized card. We're selling it in the shop. We're selling a pack of 10 assorted sheets. So basically you get one of each colour. You get A4 sheets. Obviously these ones I've cut down because I've been die cutting with them. So you get a really nice range of colours. I think that one's rose gold, so the rose gold is quite nice. You don't get rose gold very much these days. You've got a nice pink harvest gold. I think that one is quartz white. Then you've got a nice sort of lilac-y colour there. Nice powder green. And a powder blue, I think they're called. That one I think is called Maya Blue, which is really nice as well. That's what I'm going to be using today actually. That one is Ice Gold, so it's got a nice shimmer to it. And then that is, what's that called? Bisque something. Bisque, I don't know, Bisque Brown or something like that, I think. So that's a really nice one as well. So that's the colour I've actually used for the border on this one. And then I think I've used the Ice Gold in the back. And then my card blank is just a plain white card blank. So one of our 300 gram pieces of pick a mix card. Pixie sparkles are fab, aren't they, Linda? Really nice. So I have done some of the preparation already. Obviously because there is a bit of repetition. So what I did when I actually made the first card, that's the good thing about this card, is when you make one card, you're preparing everything for another, I don't know, another 3-4 cards maybe. So what I did, the first thing I did was I actually used the large circle backgrounds, and I actually die cut them out of, if I show you on this one, where's my ruler gone? Let me grab my ruler. All I did to start with, out of a piece of A4 card, so out of a piece of pearlescent, because it's sized really well, so you're going to get two of those out of one sheet. Actually, no, you get three. You get three because it's DL. So you'll get 3 out of one sheet. So if you wanted to make a whole batch of these cards, you could do that. And then all I did was I just cut it to 99 millimeters, which is how many inches? Just under 4 inches. So I don't understand inches, so that's why I stick to millimeters. Yeah, so 99 millimeters. And then I used this die, and all I did was I just positioned it by eye right in the center of that, and then die cut it. And then all the bits that popped out, and they do pop out really easily as well, so all the bits that popped out of there, I've just got some little pots here, and then I just popped them all. I die cut 5 different colours out when I did my first card, and then I've just popped them all into my little pots so they're all ready to be used. So you can use them on this sort of thing. You could probably, if anyone's ever used card candy before, you could probably do card candy with these as well, because all you do is just emboss the back of them, and it would just give a nice little oval, sort of a little dome effect. And they'd be quite nice for card candy, for making your own. So that's good. So I'm not going to use the blue today, but I'm going to use these 4 colours here. So I've used, so I had the ice gold, which is the one that I used, this outer one, yesterday. Then I've got this, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the pinky one. Pinky purpley lilac-y one, the bisque brown, and then I've also used the powder green, which is quite nice. So they all sort of go, and then of course the blue, the Maya blue, which is this one here, which I'm not going to be using. Yeah, so they all sort of coordinate nicely. They're all sort of quite pastel-y sort of colours. And they all go really nicely together. So it's up to you which colours you choose. Do whatever you want. So as I say, I die cut 5 different sheets out yesterday. So I got 4 different colours plus the outer one. And so I've got these. I had those 3 plus this one that I'm using today. So these are all spare. So I can do, if I want to do another 3 cards with this, I can do that. You can do thank you cards, birthday cards, all sorts of things, because it's quite a generic sort of style. And then if you wanted to add some die cuts to it, flowers or leaves, fronds, anything like that, then you can do that. Balloons, maybe, if it was a little boy's card, or, you know, there's quite a lot of different things that you can do. So, as I was saying, so I've die cut the circles out of that one there, and the next thing I need to do is I need to actually make it a little bit smaller, because at the moment it's a little bit big. It's the same size as my finished card, which I don't want it to be. I want it to be I want there to be a little bit of a mat in there. So I'm going to use the very outer one, outer die, and then that is going to die cut it. Turn it over just to double check. Yeah, that is going to die cut it so that it will become just a little bit smaller, but it'll be just the right size to fit on my DL card. So grab my machine. Apologies if it goes a bit wobbly with the camera, but hey ho. And then the one thing I would always suggest, if you can use, that it will fit through an A5 machine, obviously because it's not very wide. The only problem you might have is you'll get a little bit of a speed bump, what they call a speed bump. Oh, hi Sandra. Mother's Day or Easter. Oh yes, you could, couldn't you, Mum? That's a good idea. Or Mothering Sunday, as my mum likes to say. Yeah, that would be nice actually. I might do one of those. You'll have to forget about that, Mum. You could put letters on the circles, make words. Oh yes, could be a... Oh, get you, Annie. That's a good one as well, isn't it? Yeah, you could stamp individual... yeah, because if you did it that way, you could do happy birthday. Oh, see, you've got me thinking now. Anyway, I'm digressing. Don't let me get distracted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position this on top of this die cut piece. And because I've cut it to 99mm this way, it's already 210 that way anyway. So this die fits exactly on the top of it. So as long as you make sure that you can't see any of the card showing through on the edges, then you're going to be okay. And the one thing that you should always try and do if you can, if you've got the room, so because this is an A4 machine, I can do it on this, is to put it in your machine at a wonk, on a wonk. Because when it actually goes through the machine, it's going to cut, the roller is going to go over like that, rather than trying to go over the straight bit. And that's when you're going to get speed bumps, and sometimes it doesn't cut properly. So if you always put it at a bit of a wonk, if it's got a straight line like that, then it's going to work better. So carefully put that through my machine. Try not to wobble the camera too much. Oh, my mum's just said, forget what? Forget the card style, because I might make you one of these for Mothering Sunday. Don't know when Mothering Sunday is. Anyone know? Is it, I'm not sure if it's on the 14th of March actually, which is my birthday. How very dare they. There we are. So that has been cut lovely. So it's only a little bit cut out. The nice thing about cutting with dies is you do tend to get a bit of a nice clean edge to it as well. It gives it a nice soft edge and a little bit of an embossed area around the edge. It just looks nice, I think. So I've got this diddy little frame that's left over, which is quite nice. So you could use that for something else. Oh, that was the other thing as well. This this pearlized card, it is double-sided as well, just so you know. Doesn't really matter for this, but just so you know, it is double-sided. So I shall put that little frame to the side. And then what else do I need to do? I think that's all the die cutting I need to do. So I'll get this out of the way. It is the 14th of March, is it? Oh, that's my birthday. Well, I don't know if I'm not going to be able to visit my mum this year again, unfortunately. I doubt. Right, so I've done that bit there, so that is going to be my base layer on this. And then the next bit I've got is this little border here, just to give it a bit of interest. So with the border, what I've done, because it's quite a narrow border, I wanted to raise it up so it had a little bit of dimension, but foam tape, unless you've got a really narrow foam tape, it's going to be a bit of a pain to try and raise that up. So what I've done is I've actually die cut, I'll show you which dies I've used. I think it's the second and third one in. If I just get those out just to double check. Basically just working my way down. So the second one in from the outside, yeah, was that one. And then the third one was that one. So what I did was I just die cut. You can do them both together if you're confident doing that. I tend to do one and then do the other. So I die cut that one first of all, and then I just position this in the center of that and die cut that one to give me my frame. So put those back into there before I lose them. And then I die cut that. I did 2 of those frames on white card, and then I stuck those together so that they were right on top of each other, so it gives it a bit of depth. 300-gram white card I use for that. And then I've done another frame, and this one I've actually used the which one did I use? Which one did I say? I think it was the no, it wasn't. It was the quartz white, I think that is. It looks very pale blue. Looks like a very pale blue, but I think that one's called quartz white. I could be wrong, but anyway, you'll get one of each colour in the pack anyway. So you can choose which one you want to use. So I'm going to use my usual trusty old high tackle purpose very sticky glue. And then basically I'm just going to very carefully use some of this and stick it all the way around the edge of my little frame. You can use, if you're not confident and you've got one of those fine tip bottles, you could use one of those as well. But you can get quite a fine tip, fine bead of glue just from this bottle here, actually, as long as you don't cut too low down on the nozzle. And then I tend to find doing it sideways works better, doing it sort of landscape wise. And then just pop that onto there. It does give you a few seconds to move it around if you need to. Just make sure that that's nicely lined up. Moved a little bit there. There we are. It's quite nice actually using quite a pale colour, because it doesn't look too obvious if you do tend to go off a little bit. So that's that. So I'll leave that to dry for a couple of minutes, and then what I'm going to do is I've got my card blank here. So my card blank, all I've done is I've taken a sheet of A4 card and I have cut it to 20 centimetres that way, and I've left it at 210 that way. So basically out of an A4 sheet of card like this, I've just used plain white, but you can use pearlescent if you wanted. So that is 210 that way. Anyway, so then all I've done is I've measured and cut at 20 centimetres that way, and then that will give me a nice sort of just almost a square. And then I've scored along the 20 centimetre length, I've scored at 100. well, not 100, 10 centimetres. 10 centimetres, 100 millimetres. So straight in the middle, basically. And then that's given me my card blank. You can use, hi Peter, you can use, if you've got any DL card blanks, you could use that. And they would fit because this is, they've designed it so that you can, it's designed to be used with DLs, but I just think it's just as easy to just take a piece of A4 card and just cut it to size. So I've done that. I'm just going to fold it out so it stays flat a bit more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this piece nice and flat on the front of my card. Using my lovely glue again, so just make sure that you go all the way around. I tend to go in a little bit of a wiggly pattern so it doesn't tend to ooze out too much. And then I'm also going to do a little blob. It comes out, there we are, right in the centre of all of these little points here. If I don't do that, it's going to lift up when I stick it on my card. So I want it to be nice and flat. Dead easy to do. And then I'm going to position that on the centre of my card blank. Make sure you push it down in the centre as well, in the middle, just to make sure that all those little bits are glued. Anyone got any questions? Anyone been doing any crafting lately? Anything exciting going on? That's the problem while we're all in lockdown. It's like, oh, I haven't really done anything. Whenever I talk to anyone, it's like, Right, so this time I think rather on the first card that I did, what I did was I started with one colour. So if I get my little pointy tool, I started with one colour. So I started with the bisque brown, and then I just did diagonally down like that. So I did those four there, and then I took another colour and I went the next circle along and did those three there. Next circle along, did those two there, and then that one there. And then I went down to, because I wasn't entirely sure which colours would go there, so then I just went straight down to this one here. So the next row down from the end of that one, and then did those four, and then it was a case of doing those, and those. So that's how I did that. Just worked diagonally in all of them. You can go completely randomly if you wanted. You can try and spell out, maybe use two colours and spell out happy or something. I don't know if you could do happy. That might be something in sort of dot matrix sort of text, or like Annie suggested, stamp little letters onto the circles and then words. So you could maybe do happy birthday. So I might have to try that one, I think, actually, because that sounds like fun. But on this one, I think I'm just going to do it in rows of 4. How did I get, what do you mean, Peter? How did I get the Emmental card? You mean the holes? Using this die, large circles backgrounds. You'll have to watch it from the beginning after we finished. But yeah, that's the die I used to get all of those. So what I'm going to do is I'll start with these, and I'll just get a couple of these out. So I'm going to work in columns of 4, I think. And if you've got one of these, or if you wanted to get one of these are brilliant. This is one of the pearl and gem pickup tools from Sentimentally Yours. They call it Pearl's Pickup Tool Duo Set. I'm not sure if you get 2 in there actually, but they've got like a wax tip on them, so very good if you're picking up gems and things like that. I actually used them last week in my life for picking up my gems, but they're also really good for using with little pieces of card and things like that. So if you've got flowers or leaves or little circles like this, you can pick them up so easily with this. Brilliant, marvellous, fabulous. I love it. So it does make it so much easier to be able to pick it up rather than having to use tweezers or using your fingers, and it can be a bit of a faff. Oh, hi Peter, how are you? Nice to see you. Well, nice to hear, well, not even hear you. Nice to read you. Reminds me of an old-fashioned typewriter keyboard. Yes, it would do actually, yeah. Yeah, my mum's got, I'm not sure if she's still got it actually. You still got your old typewriter, Mum? She's got the one with the circle keys on it. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of my glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit in all 4 holes. Now the one thing I did notice with this as well was these circles aren't exactly perfectly circular. So when you put them in, they're sort of more a bit of an oval. So when you put them in, sometimes if you put them in the wrong way, it might not go in perfectly, but it's not the end of the world. Like that one, it doesn't sort of, yeah. So you can sort of see when you get them that they tend to be taller this way and narrower that way, so they're not perfectly circular. So there we are. So what I've done is just put 3 of those in there, 4 of those even. So I'll get another 4 out here. It's good to put them into little pots as well, if you're going to die cut a lot of these, because they it helps to organise them if they're all in little pots like this. And this is actually quite therapeutic as well, because it's quite an easy to do. It's just a case of picking them up, making sure you've got them the right way around, and then just popping them in. So you can, yes, Linda, very therapeutic. So I'm going to go quiet now, so you'll have to keep me awake. He just grabbed his while we stopped. Then yeah, so if you wanted, you could just use one colour. You don't have to use multiple colours. If you wanted to make it simpler. There we are, that's that one, and then go with my greens. So I'm just working my way across, just doing one colour at a time. But if you wanted, you can stick to one colour, do all of the pinks first of all, then do all of the ice golds. But I like to try and keep it simple, because if I don't, I'll only mess it up. There we are. So and it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long to do them, but it's quite nice and therapeutic. If you wanted, you could use double-sided adhesive sheet. I think it's a bit overkill, really. I mean, unless you're planning on maybe using glitter or something in the holes, you could use glitter or gilding flakes or anything like that. But I think rather than using double-sided adhesive sheet, I'm just going to use, it's easier just to use a bit of glue. And this glue does grab really quickly as well, so which is handy. Oh, Ian's making bounty balls. No idea what they are. I could hear the microwave going downstairs, but don't ask me what bounty balls are. It's obviously something he's seen on Pinterest or TikTok or something like that, I expect. So then my little brown ones, bisque brown I think this is called. So what's the weather like where everyone is? Anyone had lots of snow? We've got away with it here in Wales actually. We haven't had any for a while. It's tried a few times but not actually done anything. Bounty balls are like chocolate, bounty chocolate bars. Oh, interesting. Anyone watching from Scotland? I know Scotland have had quite a lot of snow. Do usually have a few ladies that watch from Scotland, but I haven't seen them coming on today. Yeah, I'm avoiding chocolate at the moment though, because I suffer with heartburn, and I find that chocolate aggravates my heartburn quite a lot. So I don't know if I'll be trying those bounty balls. I'll have to see how tempting they are. So then back to my lilac-y colour. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, so I'm nearly finished. Doesn't take long to fill up the O's. Two more to go. Which one? That one, isn't it? I'm getting confused now. Oh, he's making some without chocolate as well. Oh, lovely. That's lovely. Oh, you're putting oh, what do they have? Malibu? Don't know, we've got any Malibu. Coconut rum, isn't it? That'd be nice. You could do alcoholic bounty balls. Peter's done another storage folder. Anyone that's that follows us on Facebook, it was Hazel Eaton from Dragon's Papercraft. I shared her video recently on our page because she's showed how to make some stamp storage folders, and they're brilliant. I love them. I think I've done about 5 now. I've actually done them a little bit differently to her because I've actually used the plastic packaging from the stamps to actually hold them into in the pages. But yeah, it's her idea, so check it out if you haven't already. Either have a look on our page, there's a link on there, or go to Dragon's Papercraft on Facebook. There we are. So so that's that done. That looked pretty, didn't it? I quite like it like that actually. So I should put this out of the way. What looked too complicated, Linda? The bounty balls. Surely not this. This isn't complicated. If I can do it. There we are. So yeah, so that's all of my little circles positioned in there. So yeah, so as I said, I think I'm gonna do this one landscape. I quite like the contrast as well of the colours. So the strong blue, and then the circles inside. It's a nice contrast, I think. Oh, the folder. Oh no, the folders are easy, Linda. Honestly, they're really easy. Yeah, this is one of the ones. I'm digressing a bit here. This is one of the folders that I've made. But basically, all it is a piece of A4 card, and then I've done different size ones actually, which you could say is a little bit more complicated. But if you're just going to do a standard one like Hazel showed, it's just an A4 piece of card. You score it at 14.5 centimetres, turn it around, and then score it at 14.5 centimetres again. And then that is basically your first page. And then the little tab is just a piece of card. I think she did hers 5.5 by 3.5 centimetres. And then you just score it at 2 centimetres. Just to give you an idea of where you're going to put it. That's all that is. It's just an indication of where you're going to put it. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it just means that it stays nice and neat. And then you just stick them all together. So stick them together with glue, and then all I've done is I've actually stuck my actual plastic packaging in using red liner tape, or the polyester ultra sticky tape that we sell as well, and then just put them in like that. So then when you want to use the stamp, you can see what it is, and then you can just pull it out from the little pocket. That's the way I did it. I know Hazel tends to stick them onto the actual stamps there. She sticks those onto the page, but I prefer to do it like that. I think it's better because then at least you still got the packaging there, and it keeps the stamps all nice and safe in their little pockets as well. So yeah, give it a go. It's really easy to do and really good, because then it just makes life so much easier, and then you can add as many layers on as you want, really. Anyway, yes, exactly what Peter just said. So I've done a few different ones. I've done a smaller one. I've done a couple of bigger ones because I've got some DL stamps as well. So because of the packaging, I've made them a bit bigger. But yeah, really easy to do. Really easy to do, and really useful. Henny Road. So yeah, so that's that done. So then I need to stick my little frame onto there. But before I do that, I also need to do a sentiment. So what I've done on the first one I actually did my sentiment on the same colour pearlescent card as my background, but then I wasn't sure if it really stood out enough. It doesn't look too bad, but I prefer a little bit of contrast. So this time I'm actually going to use a piece of the white card, because obviously that would match up with my card base. And the die that I've used for that one is out of this Essential Frames. It's the second one in, second one out from the middle. So you've got the first one there, and then the second one is this one here. And it's just a nice size, just to die cut that little bit out there. This would be good if you wanted to do any banners or anything like that, because you can just make your own little flags or banners or anything like that out of that one. It's just a nice size, that one is, and that fits perfectly with the stamps that I'm going to use, which funnily enough are from my little stamp storage book, and it is this set here, which I love, Ticket Take-Tastic Essentials from Sentimentally Yours. Exactly, Judith. No more hunting. It's a good idea to organise them, and it doesn't take too long at all. You know, it's a good thing to do. And once you've done it, you'll love it. And then the only other thing I did was, I just added a little bit of a topper onto the front and stamped some of the various stamps on the front, and put a little label, just so that you can see what you've got. And you can keep sets together. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Yeah, so if you've got, like we've got a load of Julie Hickey stamps, or we've got Sentimentally Yours stamps, or we've got some woodware stamps. So if I want to keep them all together, then you can just make a little storage folder just for those. So, any rude? Why do I keep saying any rude? What shall I use? I think I'm going to use... I want to use something a bit different, because I'm always using Happy Birthday and things like that. I might do, because I did Birthday Girl on that one, so I could do Birthday Boy, because it's sort of blues. Or I could do It's Your Birthday. That might be a good one, because it's quite a general one then as well, so if I change my mind, that'll be good. Where is it? It's Your Birthday. Oh, is it going to fit on there? Yes, it'll be. I do love these stamps because they're very generic, and they seem to go with everything. Grab my stamping tool. So what I'm going to do is the plan is to actually put my sentiment underneath the frame, so that so that it's flat. I mean, if you wanted, you can put it on top of the frame, or you can do a little sort of you can bend it if you wanted. I mean, if I wanted to, I could put it on top of the frame, and then I could put some foam pads. But the only thing about that is then you'd have a thing there to cover up. So yeah, I think I'm just going to do what I did on the first one. So butt it up to the top, and then I'm going to do It's Your Birthday, and I'm going to do that to the left, like so. So pick that up. I butted it up to the top left, so if it does move, I don't have to worry. And move that out of the way so I don't squash it. I've had to get a new ink pad as well, so I've got the VersaFine Clair. This is the Nocturne. Grey would be quite nice, something like that. But or if you've got a coloured ink pad, you could use one of the colours to match up. But I'm just going to use the black. And then stamp that. Oh, sorry, Ian, just for you. Ian suggested just for you, and Judith said, have the best time. So what have I chosen? It's Your Birthday. So just give that a gentle rub across. Let the ink soak into the card. Carefully peel it away. It has moved a little bit, but because I butted it up to the top left, it's not the end of the world. So I'll just give it another ink, just to give it a nice nice strong impression. And hopefully it should still be in the same place, if I'm lucky. Yep, VersaFine Clair is basically exactly. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is between VersaFine Clair and VersaFine, but yeah, they're both more or less exactly the same. Pigment inks, oil based. Yeah, so they work just the same. So we tend to buy, well, the VersaFine, for some reason it went really expensive, so we stopped buying that. Oh, and I've got a nice blob. I'll have to try and cover that up then, won't I? Nice blob on my my sentiment there. Hey ho. Yeah, so as usual, I'm just going to give that a quick blot just to take off any excess. Like so. And then I'm going to use my trusty archival ink cleaner. Blob that all over my stamp. Grab my cloth. Give the dauber a little bit of a wipe, because you need to keep that clean if you can, or relatively clean anyway. There we are, and then give that a quick wipe, and hey presto, all the ink comes off and it's lovely and clean. Do like that. And then the only other thing I tend to do is give it a quick spritz with water, because it does say on the instructions to give it a bit of a wipe with water as well. There we are, and then I shall pop that back onto my carrier sheet. And just take a little bit of time just to make sure that your stamps are clean. Make sure my fingers are clean before I touch anything else now. That's the only problem with VersaFine, is sometimes it can, because it takes a little bit longer to dry, I end up sticking my fingers in it and then touching the card and making a right mess. So pop this back into my storage folder. There we are. Right, so I'm going to give this a quick blot as well, because it might still be a little bit damp. Not too bad. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, luckily my little blob is going to be concealed by my frame, so I'm not too worried about that. But basically I'm going to cut that so that it's just poking out, and then I'll position it, I don't know where, I'll have to make a decision. Oh, lovely. He's going to take a photo of the bounty balls. Yep, so I think just around about there, just give it a quick snip. And then because there's a bit of a rough edge, that's all going to be concealed by the frame, which is good. So now, shall I put it in the middle or shall I put it further to the bottom? And I like to sort of position it so it's in between some of the circles, just so that it doesn't cover them up too much. What do we think, middle or bottom? I don't know actually, Judith. What do you think, Ian? Do you think they would be strong enough for dies? I don't see why not. Because you could put... you'd probably only be able to put magnetic sheets on one side rather than both sides, otherwise they'll end up magnetising to each other. Yeah, but you could... Yeah, I don't see why. Don't see why not. Yeah, the only issue you're going to have is if they're magnetised. But then if you're not going to use magnetic sheets, if you're just going to stick them in, maybe. Yeah, bottom. We think bottom. I think bottom too. Oh, there we are. Peter sticks magnetic sheets in his, so... There we are. So I'm going to stick that. Let's work out where it's going to go. And then I'll just get my glue. So it's going to be just by that little yellow one there. So squiggle a glue. Position that there. Just make sure that that's going to be in the right place for my frame. Yep, that looks about right. Push that down a bit. And then I'm going to put my frame on the top, which is dried nicely now. Yeah, I quite like it with the white actually, because it's it does make it stand out a little bit better, I think. Position that, make sure I've covered up my little blob. That's about right, isn't it? Oh, Ian says the colours go really well together. Thank you, Ian. It's almost like I chose them. There we are. Yeah, so that's quite nice. I quite like that. So there we are. So that's my finished card. So I think what I'm going to try is I'm going to try Annie's idea and actually stamp some letters and then make up some words so I could use. Yeah, so quite an easy card really, that one is. And the good thing is that, like I said earlier, because I actually cut out 5 different colours, so that I had 4 coloured circles plus my background one. So I ended up with 4 spare ones. So one of them I've used on this card, and then I've still got 3 spare here, so I could use those to make 3 more cards. So yeah, so if you want to do a nice batch of cards, then it's ideal. So yeah, Slimline Collection Essential Frames, Craft Dies by Sue Wilson. So it was that one that I used. And then I also used the Large Circles Background die set as well, which is nice and versatile. Yeah, there we go. So easy squeezy. So I think Ian will be doing a live next week. Not sure what he will be doing it on. It may be on Maybe on either the froggy stuff that we've had in, or it might be on the Slimline Stencils. I'll have to wait and see. Have to see what he decides to do. So did everyone enjoy that? Oh yes, Annie. Yeah, Christmas. Oh God, you're full of it. Full of good ideas today. Red, green and gold circles for Christmas cards. Yeah, and then you could put a sprig of holly or poinsettia, you know, something like that. Fabulous. Yeah, assuming there's anything left, because Peter seems to be buying it also. But if we have sold out of anything and anyone wants anything, then just drop us an email. Next time we do an order with Creative Expressions or whoever, we'll be able to order it. So not a problem. Oh right, there we are. Ian said he's going to be using the frogs and pixie sparkles next week. So we've got the frog stamps and dies. Don't ask me where they are. I don't know. I think I showed you them last week anyway, but they're on the website. So Ian will be using those next week together with the pixie sparkles. So that'd be interesting. I think he's going to do like a sort of a pond scene, something like that. Thank you, Leslie. It is good for, it's quite a generic sort of style, isn't it? So it could be for a man or for a woman. Judith said, lovely cards, Gavin, very effective. Enjoyed the demo. Stay safe, everyone. Exactly. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, Linda. Can you do stencils and sparkles? Yes, because we've got, bear with. Let me just grab these are the Slimline Stencils that we've just had in. So they will also work with these dies as well, because they're from the same Slimline collection. So yeah, so that one's one of my favourites. I love the style on that one. Yeah, so we will be using these. If we don't use them in next week's live, I'm sure we'll be using them at some point, or if not, we'll be doing some sample cards. So we'll paste them on our Facebook page and on Valley Crafters as well. So if you've supported us in the shop, then you can join that group as well. Oh, and the jelly, I think he means the jelly plate, not the belly plate Ian's going to be using. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you for joining us. Yes, jelly plate, not belly plate. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Thank you for your continued support. We're still in lockdown in Wales. I think it's the same in everywhere at the moment in the UK. So hopefully end of next week we should know what the situation is, whether we will be able to open the shop again. Obviously socially distance and everything like that, which we always do anyway. And we may be able to start doing classes again at some point. So we do have an online class available, so if you ever look on our Facebook page, there's details about it on there. Oh, hi, Gina. And you can order on our website for contactless store pickup or for delivery as well. So thank you for joining us, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay safe, be careful. Hope you're getting vaccines. Yeah, although we're not going to get ours for a while, but we shall see you all soon, hopefully. Okie doke. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Gaynor. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye.